In the quiet village of Akanu, life moved slowly and predictably. Roosters crowed at dawn. Farmers walked to their fields with hoes resting on their shoulders. Children played barefoot on dusty paths, laughing without worry. But among those children was one boy who was never part of the laughter. His name was Ifani. Ifani was small for his age, thin and often quiet. He wore clothes that were always slightly torn, sandals that had seen better days, and eyes that seemed older than his years. People in the village barely noticed him, and when they did, it was usually with annoyance. "Leave that boy," they would say. "He talks too much. He imagines things. He is always bringing bad news." Ifani lived with his grandmother at the edge of the village, close to the forest where few people liked to go. His parents had died years earlier, and since then, he had learned to survive by observing, listening, and keeping to himself. But what people didn't know was this. Ifani noticed things others ignored. He noticed how the river had slowly changed its course over the years. He noticed how the soil near the farmlands had grown softer and darker. He noticed how the forest animals had begun moving closer to the village. And most importantly, he noticed how the rains were no longer normal. One afternoon, while other children were playing, Ifani stood near the riverbank, staring at the water. The river was swollen, moving faster than usual, carrying branches and debris downstream. Something felt wrong. That evening, he ran into the village square where elders sat discussing harvest plans. "The river is angry," Ifani said, breathless. "It is rising too fast." The elders laughed. "This boy again," one said. "Always imagining disasters." Another waved him away. "Go and play with your mates." But Ifani did not move. "The rain upstream hasn't stopped for days," he insisted. "The forest animals are leaving their homes." The laughter grew louder. "Who sent you? Are you now an elder? Children should not speak in meetings." Embarrassed, Ifani walked away, his heart pounding. That night he couldn't sleep. The wind howled strangely. Thunder rolled longer than usual. And deep in the night, he heard the river roaring. The next morning, Ifani went from house to house warning people. "The river may overflow," he said. "We should move the children away. We should block the lower path." Some people slammed doors in his face. Others ignored him completely. One woman snapped, "If disaster comes, will you stop it?" Ifani lowered his head and walked away. Only his grandmother listened quietly. She watched him that evening as he packed a small bag with food, water, and cloth. "Where are you going?" she asked. "To the hill near the old shrine," Ifani replied. "It is higher ground." She studied his face and nodded. "You see things early," she said softly. "Go. I will follow when I can." That night, the rain came harder than ever before. It poured without mercy. Roofs rattled. Trees bent. The ground trembled. By midnight, the river burst its banks. Water rushed into the village like a wild beast. Houses near the river collapsed instantly. People woke up screaming as water filled their homes. Panic spread. Children cried. Mothers screamed names. Men struggled to rescue belongings. The same elders who laughed now shouted orders in confusion. And then they remembered. "The boy!" someone yelled. "The orphan boy. He warned us." People searched frantically for Ifani. But he was gone. As water rose higher, villagers began fleeing toward the forest and the hills. Many were trapped. The narrow path they usually used was already flooded. Just when hope seemed lost, a small figure appeared in the rain. Ifani. He stood on higher ground, waving a torch made of dry palm leaves. "This way," he shouted. "Follow me." People hesitated. Then another wave crashed into the village. That was enough. They followed him. Ifani led them through a